Danny Vegas time, Danny Vegas world. I have no idea why I feel so good today. I don't know.
It. Accept it.
I'm just going to accept it.
Bask.
Yeah, okay. We'll wait to see what happens in the mail today. Segment 3, we have a special guest on segment 3, and everybody, I want you to stop what you're doing because this is a $1 million segment. You will learn something that can potentially change your life right here on the Danny Vegas Live Show. Go, Nicole.
If you are tired of being broke, if you're tired of working so hard for that money, we work hard for the money, and you really know, you see people out there, you see those cats out there that are just like, what are they doing? What is different about them?
They're turning and burning, baby.
They think differently. They think differently. I want to introduce you to my friend. His name is John. Jack Rainmaker Common. Jack Rainmaker is his brand. John Common is the man. He's a friend of mine. He's a client from last year.
How you doing?
I'm going to get you back as a client again. I just know we're going to be working together again. But I'm excited to have you in here.
I'm actually very happy to be here as well. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time.
So you're an interesting man. Just trying to peg it out like Jack, John. What
like person of interest with the FBI, or interesting man as
I don't know about that.
Just teasing.
You really are a different thinker. You think differently, and when we first met, when we first connected,
right.
I liked you instantly.
Well, thank you.
Definite.
So I did a good job of fooling you.
Definite character. Oh no, I wasn't fooled. I wasn't like, yeah, here's my checkbook.
Right.
No. But I knew you were a man of vision and a bigger thinker, and you've done a lot of things in your life. You have earned a lot of money in your life.
Yes, I have.
You were here in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And you were earning and burning every day. What are you doing these days? And
okay.
Let's talk a little bit about it.
Okay, sure. Las Vegas has been a second home for me since 1998. I love living here. I decided in 2013 to live here full time.
Okay.
And at that time, a lot of people were doing renovations, flipping houses and everything else, right?
Hot housing market.
And I got involved with a guy who was actually doing foreclosures, short sales, loan mitigation, and he's also flipping some deals on the side. And he said to me, why don't you look at this and tell me if you want to get involved? And so I essentially did. And when I first got involved in it, I did what everybody else did.
Right.
Which is you look at the MLS, you listen to Montalagno's DVDs, like How to Buy a House or whatever. And after a couple months, I only came up with 2 deals, and I said to myself, you know what, there's got to be a better way of finding distressed property.
Right.
Okay? And because all these other programs sell going to probate court,
right,
going to an attorney where there's a divorce pending. In other words, typical properties that aren't on the multiple listing service on the MLS from a realtor. And I'm thinking to myself, but that's kind of crazy, right? Because if I'm about to sell my house, I'm not thinking, let me call We Buy Ugly Houses, right? You're going to call, I know so-and-so, he's a realtor.
Right.
Okay, let me talk to him about listing my house. Yeah. And so I came to the conclusion that the biggest place or pot of houses that are for sale would be on the MLS.
Right.
And it's kind of crazy because what I used to do is I used to drive around, look at houses, take pictures, run numbers, okay, and then put in an offer. Okay. So each offer probably took maybe 2 or 3 hours of time.
Right.
And then out of maybe 30 offers, I'd get 1 accepted. But it was a giant process. And I said to myself, you know what? How can I only look at houses where I have an accepted offer?
Right.
So what I did is I developed a proprietary technology. All my companies have been technology-based.
Okay, that's cool.
And it sucks everything up from the MLS.
Right.
Everything that's for sale. Everything that's sold. Okay. And it runs an online distressed property. In other words, if you have the market value of the properties here, and the list price is here, okay, then obviously the list price is higher than the market value.
Right.
Okay? But if you have the list price here and the market value is higher,
okay,
and then it also calculates what's called ARV, or after repair value, or after renovation value, is here, then you've got a home run.
Okay.
Right? And so my system would flag these properties and say, these are the properties you need to look at.
Okay.
Electronically, it sends emails out to my agents who put out offers. So we're putting about 30, 40, 50 offers out every single week.
Right.
Okay? And the only houses that I look at are the ones that I actually get under contract.
Okay.
The system tells me what I should buy the house for, how much my renovation is going to be, okay, what my potential net profit's going to be. Okay, just in the last, like last month or this last month in May, we're in May right now.
Right.
I've got 16, 17 properties on the contract. Yet if you talk to most flip investors, I mean,
Right.
guys who are in the business for a long time,
Right.
87% of them will tell you their biggest challenge right now, especially in today's market, because
Right.
people are going crazy, is finding deals.
Okay, so now I know that people are out there listening right now,
Yeah.
and a lot of them have tuned out because of this reason. They
Right.
think, oh, John, that's a great idea. I'm so glad you figured out the system, and this rich guy here can stay rich and get richer because he's got the capital to invest.
Right.
Right.
Now, what I liked a lot about when we first talked about what it was that you were doing,
Right.
and we got together to help him set up some social accounts and move him more into new
She did a
media.
pretty good job, too, by the way.
Oh, really good job.
Really good job.
Thank you. But what I liked about it was you created an access point and a possibility for those baby investors, those little investors, those junior
Sure.
venture capitalists
Right.
to be able to get in and take advantage of your experience, because it's not just finding the deals. That whole what the value is after renovation,
Right.
that's where a lot of people lose their shirt, especially when they don't know what the heck they are doing. They
Well-
watch some HGTV shows
Right.
and think, oh, I'm going to
Yeah.
flip it. I'm going to get
Yeah.
rich. I'm going to buy a house for $200,000. I'm going
Yeah.
to sell it for $450,000. This is brilliant.
Well, everybody wants to. They like the design element of
Yeah.
flipping and
Yeah.
renovating. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of them now, and quite frankly, for me,
Yeah.
picking out the tile and doing this and making this look beautiful is it's a little bit of a burnout. So now my approach to it is more as a business, proposition. I mean, and when you really look at it, most people really don't want to get their fingers dirty laying tile, and that's
Right.
really not what's not about. It's not like on television. I don't think I've ever swung a sledgehammer to break down a wall.
Okay.
All right, in the demo
Not
side.
even when you're just having a bad day.
Not even when I'm even having a bad day.
You go smoke a
like
cigar.
that. No, I know. That's exactly it. But what happens with a lot of people is that they get kind of stuck in. Well, first of all, let's talk about where the money's going to come from.
Right.
Okay.
We only got 2 minutes left, or two and a
Okay,
half minutes left.
So
Okay.
really
can do
quickly,
it. You can do it.
have a bunch of guys that go buy a house for zero down, start as a wholesaler, start doing this, and they talk about their own experiences. To a certain extent, that's true. Okay, but the bottom line is you have to find a source for money. And the good news is out there right now, there's at least a half a dozen companies out there that will lend people money, okay, to flip houses, even with no experience.
Wow.
So you can have as little as $25,000, $30,000, and you can finance a flip, and even finance the renovation and the rehab with no experience. Okay. From my perspective, I mean, what I try and do, and you know this, is there are some online forums. I don't know what I can talk about or not talk about, like Bigger Pockets or whatever.
talk about it,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. That actually have tremendous advice because it's a whole collection of people from
Right.
across the country where you can post a question and they have answers, and there's podcasts and all kinds of things like that. The bottom line, though, is I would definitely recommend that people reach out to some kind of a resource and say, I'm thinking about getting into this business. What do I need to do? The bottom line is just like any business, you have to have the attitude, I'm never going to give up. Okay?
Right.
You always have to make sure that you don't pay much or too much for the house. Okay? I mean, the reality of it is, even when the day that you're going to title to sign the papers, if you don't feel 100% confident that I'm buying the house for the right price today, don't sign.
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, you lose your earnest money, but
Right.
then you're not even going to lose your earnest money, because even if you cancel the deal and the seller says you're not going to get your earnest money, I want to keep it, you can say no, title keeps it, but when they sell the house, the seller actually forfeits the earnest money,
Okay.
and title return the earnest money back to you.
Okay.
I've never lost earnest money.
Okay.
You know?
There's a
So
tip
basi-
right there.
So basically, what you're seeing here, if you're savvy enough to see here, what the $1 million line that John gave is, he's talking about finding those resources and taking advantage of those resources, educating yourself,
Right.
because it is really about being smarter, not necessarily working harder. But you work really hard. You're up like 4 o'clock every morning.
I get up
5 o'clock in the
before, but
morning.
then I'm in bed by 8
You do.
o'clock too.
You do.
Okay.
You do. But John, where I see your brand going more than
Right.
just flipping houses and earning a lot of money doing that, is becoming a resource to people and teaching people.
Well, absolutely.
So
I mean,
come-
in fact, on my website, jackraymaker.com, I don't have a link on it yet. but
Right.
my goal is to establish a series of almost free. I mean, they're so cheap; they're
Right.
literally free webinars to act as a resource and answer people's questions about what is they're looking for and what they're doing, so they don't waste their money.
And
So that's
what's
the best way to get a hold of you is jackrainmaker.com.
JackRainmaker.com. Yeah.
Perfect. So
Right.
check it out, jackrainmaker.com.
That's right.
We'll have the links here on this video. And stay tuned. I think
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk Jack into getting a regular show happening here. So
Oh, that would be
online
sweet.
resource can be a easy funnel to get out there. So
All right.
thanks, Jack.
We'll be back for segment 4 right after this.